Come on, let's come on live with me. Hey everybody, we are starting Facebook Live. Let's get in there. Let's talk about really transitioning to feel like you have some energy today. So, hello, my name is Rhonda Liebig. Welcome in to do some dancing with me. Hey, I always ask that because if I'm making a fool of myself, I want you to be making a fool of yourself too, because it's all about being pure, authentic, and really being yourself. I'm catching my breath. Hey everyone, I'm so happy to be here because I want to talk about something that is so important and prevalent in really stopping us from moving forward. And you know what? I promise you, I'm dealing with this too. So I'm going to give you specific steps of what I do, how I guide my clients. I'm going to give you a really fun story today too. It's about my daughter and asking some great questions. And I want to connect that. I want to connect all of this and bring it together for you in a way that you can see how food can nourish areas where we really get stuck. And so I'm going to give you a full circle of stuff. I'm so excited to be here. I was doing my dancing and I'm ready to go. Here we go. You know what the most important thing about really breaking through your energy barriers? I want you to take a roll the shoulder back and really think about this and be really, truly authentic with yourself and what really stops you. I'm going to give you the answer in just a moment, but think about this. When I ask quite a few people and I say, what's stopping you from having energy? And I know deep inside that we really actually do have the answer, but it takes a while to kind of break through those barriers, break through areas that really stop us, that we really can't see ourselves. We spend a lot of time on the exterior part of our body, and it's very hard to dig deep. And when I start working with people, I really notice that the reason why they are coming to start talking about I need to make some transitions is usually they haven't been connected with themselves for a really long time. And so it's a really hard question to answer. So I'm going to tell you what the number one thing that I see and how people really do a big breakthrough. It has a lot to do with anxiety. The anxiety of that you're not worthy or good enough to be able to live a different lifestyle, to be able to, make some new steps in your life. And when that happens, is it really pulls a lot of our energy away from us to the point where we feel exhausted. So when you think about your mindset and how that can make a big difference in our energy. Now think about not just a mindset that's kind of off for the day, but the anxiety that sits inside you saying, I don't want to start my day today. I don't want to start it because this is going to be something that's going to be a stressful day. Or that I don't want to be moving forward in my health because all that food that I'm told that I'm supposed to eat, I get anxious. I want to have my cookies. I want to have my wine. Whatever that thing is, what makes you feel anxious? And kind of take that in for a moment. I'm going to take you out of it, but just think about it for a moment. So there's some steps that you can do. As an energy revitalized coach, these are the steps that I really find that are helpful. So I'm going to go into a story. Actually, I have two stories for you today. I'm going to go into a story, and it's one of my clients I was coaching last week. And and this has to do, I'm going to align this with exhaustion and align it with having anxiety and not being able to break through it, break through it on our own. So Stephanie said, I get so anxious that I feel that I feel paralyzed and I feel really stressed about it. And so then I was talking to her and I just kept it silent for a moment and I said, well, why don't you kind of bring those thoughts to your heart? Like just think about like how to shift yourself a bit. And she started rambling. Stephanie was just rambling and trying to really stay on the exterior part. So this can be an uncomfortable space for you too. And so I said, okay, I go, hold on a moment. And I noticed that she was feeling really exhausted for the day. Like this was just taking over everything, anything to really help her, move forward. Hey, Maria, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. And so I said, okay, so let's start breathing and get out of the mind. So she was physically sitting, and I said, get up and move somewhere else. And so she went and moved somewhere else. She was in her living room because we were on the phone. And she went and she got into another space. And I said, okay, so how are you feeling now? I'm still really feeling anxious, but I'm feeling better. So I moved her from a space. Say you're standing right here and something's just taken over your anxiety and you don't feel like you can move forward, but you know that your day is important, that you need to really break through. So step one is I want you to kind of step out of that space. If you're in bed, I want you to get out of bed and I just want you to shake it off. And I want you to stand in your space, even give yourself a little bit of energy. And what you're going to start noticing is that you're going to start connecting with your body and you're not going to just be in the mind. And so take a deep breath, you step in your new space, and then the next thing is I want you to digest stuff. And the most important thing at this point is hot water. So go get some hot water. I have some water over here. And what you want to do is I'm going to transition to food. So my second step is I'm going to start transitioning into food. Guess what? Water. So you get yourself some hot water, preferably not from the microwave. You don't want to go that way. Maybe do it in a pan. If you have a hot water thing you can boil, and I want you to drink water. Okay, so you have two things I want you to do. Now, why do I want you to drink water? Why did I want my client Stephanie to go out and drink some water? Because let's transition into the food. So you see how this story goes? And sometimes our body gets clogged. And sometimes our body, it feels like it's just like stagnant, like you can't move forward. So then you are stopping your system, your full energetic system that really needs to keep moving, getting yourself going for the day, but it just is clogged. So as you start drinking and implementing your water, your hot water, it starts opening up your lymphatic system. It starts opening up the flow of your system. And as you just transition into something different, you start opening yourself up to thinking something different. So the anxiety just slowly starts stepping away from you and you start being able to see your day. So I gave you two things before we get in the food. Number one was get out of your space, wherever you are. Get out of bed, step off to the side, get out of a new space. Get out and go into a new space. The second thing was get hot water. Hot water to really open up your system and open up your flow. So let's go into this next area. Now, this is a great one because this is where you start connecting that food is your medicine. So you're starting to feel pretty darn good. I'm going to give you 5 foods and I'm going to connect that with why food is so important in this space. So as your body starts getting clogged and you have this full energetic system and everything just kind of stops, you drink that hot water, it starts opening up and it starts going directly to the cells that want that pure H2O. So you start sipping it and you go, okay, my body's starting to come alive, it's warming, it feels good, and you feel like your acid in your stomach is starting to balance, things are starting to go and look really, feeling really good. Now, what's usually happening when you have really high anxiety consistently is usually your kidneys get a little clogged. So I'm going to connect you with some foods. And why I'm talking about kidneys is because kidneys really help the flow of the nutrients in your system, really help the balance within your brain. And if your water system is off, say you haven't had enough water, or your water system isn't regulating well because your kidneys are struggling a bit. Maybe you have kidney stones. Maybe your lower back has been aching. You didn't even realize that your kidneys have been struggling. So you can go to the doctor and the doctor will most likely say, oh, you're fine. No, nothing's happening here right now. So we're stepping into your wellness plan. So as an energy revitalized coach, I start connecting the wellness area. How can we nurture those foods? How can we nurture the organs to make sure that your food that you're eating really uplifts your body and brings your energy up so that you really feel like, yeah, I got this day. Get rid of the exhaustion. Get rid of the anxiety. Now, the quicker you can get rid of your anxiety and add these 5 foods I'm going to give you, that I'll tell you how to treat it like your medicine, that you are going to start really building your platform to get away from the stress of the day and the stuff that really pushes us down into exhaustion. Now, exhaustion can be many, many things. So I'm not going to go in too deep with that, but this is the number 1 tools that you can use right now to get yourself going. So the 5 foods that I'm connecting this with is something I want you to see on your dinner plate. So put out your dinner plate and kind of open up your plate and go, okay, what should I be seeing here? Like, what's important in this space here that I really want? So I call this the P3 energy steps. P3 is the plate plan phasing. So your number 1 tool here is your food. Bell peppers, cabbage, cauliflower, garlic, and onion. You can do all 5 if you want to do together. And I want you to see those foods: bell pepper, cabbage, cauliflower, garlic, and onion. So throw it in the pan or eat it raw. And I would say, if you do your food at least 10% or more of raw, that's always so good because you have those beautiful enzymes that really stick to the food that's really full and energetic. As you cook your food, make sure you don't cook it too much because you want a little bit of that crispiness there. So as you have your plate out here, you're going to have your protein and you're going to have your fruits and your vegetables. And with that, get at least 3 of the foods that I just gave you. Now I can go more and more and more, and if you want more, you can actually just Google the top foods to nurture your kidneys. But you see how we're making it well-rounded? We're not just Googling this stuff. There's a deep connection that you need to have to be able to really strategically do this. So I invite you in, try it for a week. Every single night, have at least 5 foods that I just said to you. Red bell pepper would be beautiful because you have some color there. Then you have cabbage, which is white. And if you even steam the cabbage, it comes into really a beautiful support for your body with the fiber. And also the white is really good for being able to support you so that you can really fight any kind of cells that are not real clean and having struggles. Then you can have cauliflower in there, and of course garlic and onion. Those are like the top foods to actually fighting cancer. So what does that mean? That's going to bring high energy into your body. So we did that full circle where I told you the steps you need to do to get out of the exhaustion, how to add the foods, and I even gave you a story about a client that was struggling with stress and how we were able to get her out of that space to make sure that her day was okay. I hope these steps help you in making you feel like, yeah, I got this. I can make those steps, and it's so easy. 5 days with these 5 foods, have at least 3 on your plate every single dinner. Now notice I said nothing about breakfast and lunch or anything like that. Just focus on your dinner. Keep everything consistent. Don't go out there and just do this big yo-yo diet of exactly what you need to do. Just start the steps. Start mellowing out on yourself and be nice to yourself. And things really make a big difference. Sometimes anxiety is because we're looking at the future and we're fearful of what's going to happen in the future. Fearful of what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with one story here. Okay, so this morning, my daughter Kirsten, she said, I'm trying to figure out if I could have one thing to make me happy, like that I could only pick one thing out of this whole wide world. I wonder what I would do. So my question to you, anybody out there want to answer? What's the one thing that you would want if you asked for it right now? So what I started talking to her about is like, well, a lot of people say weight loss, but weight loss is a byproduct of, exhaustion and stress and dealing with anxiety. But once you start calming that down, then your body starts alignment. Food and doing trips and all that kind of stuff, that's all a byproduct of really getting into alignment. Because once you're in alignment, then really, so Kirsten said, well, I don't know what I really, really want. And you know what I said to her? I go, think about this, Kirsten. Hey, Ricardo, nice to see you. Love you being here. I said, how about love? Now, isn't that, if you're not in that space of heart, you're like, what the heck are you talking about? Why is heart so important? Like the number one thing you could have in this whole entire world, and you're talking about the heart. Is everybody on board with me? If you have your heart together and you're fully open in that heart chakra, and you're saying, I don't care if one person looks at me friendly today, but I'm going to make sure that I get a lot of love out there, because every time that I see somebody just shift a little bit or smile, that it makes a big difference for me too, because I feel like I'm giving back. And you see how that feels? Like just so powerful. And so that's the number one thing that I would love. How about for you? What's the number one thing that you would want? If you started looking your surroundings, and even money's going to come to you as soon as you get your full alignment. All of a sudden clarity comes. So do you want to go straight with the money and say, if I could pick one thing, I'd want all the money in the world? Or would you pick something else? Mine was the heart and love and nurturing. So what's yours? That's a good thought for the day. And it does a full circle. Remember when we started, we were talking about all these different things and brain going stress and all that kind of stuff. And now we're right back into the heart center. So I want to tell you, my mission for doing this space here and spending time with you is that I want to make sure I share my heart with you and all the experience that you're going to get each time that you step in and you watch one of these videos. I'm doing a lot of planning, making sure that everything's in alignment so that you get the best that you need to get out of it. And this is all about uplifting. And this is about having a day where you feel like you can roar, your energy feels excited, and that you feel like you can move forward and that you're not stuck in the day-to-day stuff. Now that's my mission. What's yours today? Hey, this is Rhonda Liebig, Energy Revitalized Coach. Let's get out there and let's get some stuff rocking. No matter where you are in the world, it might be nighttime, it might be in the middle of the morning where it's like 2 a.m., or it might be Pacific time, and right now it's 11:32 my time. So wherever you're at, my heart to yours. That's my mission. What's yours?